I literally just watched some other YouTube influencer videos before, and I moved to making these videos about to greet you like those influencers, but then some minutes later I realized that I'm not those influencers and I have a different niche. If you notice, I have struggled with a mind that is easily being distracted. And maybe some of you are too. Hi, I'm Emma. Now I'm sharing with you about my struggle dealing with a distracted mind. And I also will share how I get back to my focus. My mind is always running while doing projects, doing work tasks, even while doing house chores and praying. It's annoying to be honest. Sometimes the thoughts are important because I suddenly have good ideas. But other times, the thoughts are just annoying, especially when I'm praying. My mouth can't follow the speed of my brain. I sometimes stutter or even can't express clearly what I have in mind. But some things I noticed that this distracted mind has causes and also the solving. I realized that the brain needs signals when we move to other activities. Um, I'm not talking about this from scientist perspective, but from my experience, okay? Like the way my brain is still on the videos, but my body already moves to my own video. I didn't do specific things to prepare as a signal to my brain. That's why I confused for a while. And I noticed that when I go to pray, for example, wudu becomes the signal to the brain that I will pray. Then if I go to sleep, I clean up a little beforehand, then I can fall asleep easily. I try to build a little habit before doing something, so my brain becomes more ready. I read some research long ago. The brain also can make a system or remember where something is done. This means we cannot mix activities in one space. For example, if we have a habit of doing homework or watching dramas while you are on the bed, the brain signals that bed is not a place to sleep. That's one of the reasons some of us have sleep deprivation. And since reading that, I have applied it to my life. I will avoid doing anything in my bed, and I feel uh, easily fall asleep. Then comes multitasking and phone usage. Those breaks signals to the brain. I read and watch a lot of scientific explanation that those two activities keep our brain busy, especially using the phone can give us constant dopamine, make our brain busy and not let it rest. In my opinion, multitasking and using the phones makes our brain unable to get the signal before doing something. That's possibly why we have a lack of focus and difficulty sleeping. And if you are a scientist, you can leave a comment below to confirm my opinion, okay? Let's discuss. And also, I noticed many scientists, psychologists, or psychiatrists recently agree that phones are not really helping our brain to improve. We are just addicted to the flowing dopamine from social medias. So, try to put your phone down for a little while first. Train yourself to not depend on the phone. Be focused on your tasks without a phone. The first day may be for 10 minutes, the next day 15 minutes, and the day after becomes 30 minutes, and add more minutes by the day. You can add until you are not dependent on the phone and addicted to your focus work instead. And repetitive ibadah is one side very assuring and predictable, includes some little beautiful habits that makes the brain get a signal, like wudu, what I mentioned it. But when we start praying, the mind wanders because we are doing repetitive rituals and repeat the same dua and surah. The brain starts to ignore the details, and that means we might lose thinking about something. We might lose in our mind while we recite dua while praying. I feel repetitive activities are sometimes boring, and boredom makes our body do things in autopilot mode. When we recite the same dua in prayers, our mind starts to wander. That's one of two reasons. To keep our mind refreshed and focused, challenge ourselves to memorize and recite the different surah. Recite it slowly to get it right and understand the meaning of it. This way, inshallah, can make you focus again in your salah. If you have tried to recite different surah, but that way can't make you focus, then maybe that is because shaitan khinzab. They whisper waswas to make you not focus during praying. If this is the case, let's recite أعوذ بالله من الشيطان وسواس الخنزب. If you keep struggling to focus during ibadah, I suggest you to try many times, hundreds, thousands if you want. Be patient. Keep returning to remember Allah. You do the ibadah for Allah. Remember Him always and ask Him to ease the ibadah. We will get reward for our patience and for our effort to keep coming back to remember Allah. Don't worry, our struggle in ibadah will be rewarded, inshallah. And what again? Mostly we are distracted with our past that is playing in our mind like 4K videos. Everyone has that moment, right? One thing to make you go back to the present. You must remember this. Your past doesn't define who you are now. People change, and so do you. Can you remember a moment where your friend felt embarrassed? If not, then other people won't remember your embarrassing moments too. Just accept them as a part of your past. Don't let them ruin your focus now. Other things that may distract you from your focus is you keep imagining your future. You become excellent at what you do and you feel fulfillment out of it, but don't feel fulfilled yet because you still imagining. And let me remind you too about this. You won't get all that beautiful future unless you start working it now. You need to write it down in your journal, then do things to reach the dreams. And what are the thoughts that always distract you? Comment below. Maybe we can talk about it. Thank you for watching.